coming back to you live from our bedrooms. I'm Sean.
I'm Zach.
Yeah, you weren't ready for that, huh?
Dude, caught me off guard a little bit. Whew.
Oh man. So Zach, how's isolation going?
Fantastic.
Yeah, you just enjoying everything about it?
You see, I basically already quarantined myself before Corona, and so now
of
I just
course.
have an excuse to do it.
You see, my only issue is my work is still open, and that's really bumming me out.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I know. I need. I mean,
How
God.
dare you have to go into work
What?
still?
I know. What does it take to get the whole world to close, huh? What?
I mean, we're almost there. What more do we need? A few
I
earthquakes,
know.
maybe a tsunami?
Honestly, come on. Like, what do I have to do? Please, I'll do it. You say jump, I say how high. Like, come on. Sorry, I should be joking about that. It's a very serious situation, and I should be happy that I'm working because I get money, right? Even though you can't go anywhere or spend it on anything.
Right.
You know.
I mean, I saw an ad saying that Taco Bell's drive-thru was still open, so you could go there.
Oh. Oh, you want to come? Separate cars,
Oh,
obviously. 'cause-
of course. It's not like... Yeah.
Or I could drive my truck and you could just be in like the back, like the bed of the
Will
truck.
it have like a little isolated bubble?
Whatever
like a
you
little
think
blow-up
it
bubble?
is, it will not have it.
You know the SpongeBob episode where he gets quarantined? 'Cause
I
he's
don't,
super
but I
sick?
can imagine.
You know what? I have to find the picture now.
Yeah,
Typewriter
well, of course.
engage.
As you're doing that, I'm gonna actually talk about what I wanted to talk about.
Well, how dare you?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
and-
hang on, I got it.
Oh, let's let the picture happen first, I guess.
Yeah, this is more
Because Zach
important.
thinks he's more important than my poignant thoughts.
I want one of
I used the
those
word-
in the back of your truck.
Oh, look at that.
With the pirate hook, of course. That way I can pop it to get my
Oh.
food.
Well, okay, I can promise you the tubes and the pirate hook, but not the bubble.
There's just like some hoses laid out in the back of the... Beautiful.
Okay, so Zach, I gave you homework last time.
You did?
Not in the episode, but afterwards to play Soma, and you didn't.
You
So,
didn't give me homework. You said, "Are you going to?" And I said, "Maybe," and then I didn't.
right, exactly. So you failed.
I'm sorry, Sean. I
So-
failed you for the last time.
Basically, these thoughts come from the game Soma. I won't spoil anything in Soma. Everything that I'm going to talk about is just kind of, honestly, questions that the game raises throughout the game.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna actually spoil the game. Just like
How
pretty much
dare
what-
you spoil what the game's about for me?
I'm basically just gonna describe kind of the plot ish.
How dare
Okay.
you?
So one of the big questions that the game raises up is about what is humanity.
Where does it raise up? Like, raise up where?
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up.
Beautiful. I'm glad that just happened. Sorry, back to your humanity nonsense.
It brings up the question of what is humanity, because what is happening in the game is basically the world ended,
Yep.
and the few remaining people are trying to decide what they're going to do about that, basically. And so they come up with this plan where it's basically they scan their brains and make a copy of that, and
Yep.
what they want to do is launch the copy of that into outer space.
I knew of the copies. I didn't know about the space part, but okay.
Yeah,
Got
that you would have learned of that pretty shortly after where you were, I think. So basically, in the game, as you're going around and you're confused about what's going on, but like you start meeting these robots who think they're people.
Right.
They don't know that they're robots.
I ran into like two of them.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you kind of have the choice on both of them if you should kill them or not, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's been a long time. I don't quite remember that part, but
Well, it doesn't exactly spell it out for you, but like they're plugged into something, and the first one I think you have to kill the first one because you need power to move forward.
Yep.
The second one, you can unplug one of them, and he's just in pain. He's just
Yep.
screaming.
Yep.
But and you can just leave him there if you want. And so and choices like that continue to happen throughout the whole game.
Okay.
Where it's just like there's a robot, you can kind of kill it or not. But like I guess the big question becomes, are you actually killing someone?
Are they human anymore?
Yeah, I'm. What is humanity? What does it mean to be human? Is it the body? Is it the mind? Is it all those things?
Well,
I mean,
let's go back to consciousness.
yeah, let's do that.
um, that's a really good question.
It's interesting. I think because when you when that person, I recently just watched that a video of that part of that gameplay where they unplug the one and the guy playing Markiplier just like leaves the guy screaming. I don't think really he thought too much about what he could have done there.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought about it more. Like I felt and Markiplier was definitely like uncomfortable, you know, because like it's a horror game and the guy's screaming. But like I was thinking like you left that guy there to suffer, but it's not really the guy. Like his body is literally like a room away, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But his mind is still alive in that thing. So is it wrong to leave a robot to suffer?
So, I have a question.
Yes.
So let's just, for the sake of this argument, let's say someone dies,
Okay.
and like, they're no. Would you consider that they're no longer human? Would you agree? They'd be like a spirit.
Yes.
So wouldn't that imply that humanity is like, a phase almost? Like we are more than our humanity.
See, and that's exactly where I got to as I was thinking about they're trying to get the game is about trying to get that person's own your player his consciousness onto that thing that they're going to launch into space.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what that thing is, it's paradise. Your consciousness is there. It's like you're living in real life in a real world that's just like perfect. And they call it the arc, and you're trying to get on this arc. So like then the next
So
question
is it
is
kind of like the Matrix?
yeah, kind of like that, basically. And so it's like, so we have human consciousness in these robots, and in that one, there's not even a robot. It's just minds. And so like what I came to was like within our own beliefs, like we talk about living in heaven a long time ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were spirits there. And like how different is that from, because there's no body happening, like there's a spirit, right? But like, and so it's an interesting, we would say, I think, within our own beliefs, that a human is more than just the body.
Right. I'm gonna agree with that and say, at that point they're no longer human. But like they're still there. Like their consciousness is still there. Who they were as a human's still there.
Yeah, yes. It's interesting to think like, because there's definitely people who believe, you know, that just like all we are is, you know, just a brain controlling a meat armored skeleton, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like and once that brain is dead, like it's gone, right? And that's the end. And in that way, we basically are just robots, if you subscribe to just believing that, right?
Right.
Because then you could just take a copy of the brain and just put it on something else, assuming we knew how to do that. But like, I mean,
And
you
there
could
it
just
goes.
stick it in something else. Strange concepts, right?
It's so cool thinking about it. It's like it's such a weird thing to try to explain at the same time. It's like, yes, but no. And more no.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to think of like, because there's another part of this that we're not even considering, like the idea of like a clone. So even if, let's say they made the copy of those people and let's say that those people survived, and but their brain or that copy got put in a robot. Now that robot believes that they are a real human, but also there is the real human. So like,
and it's a robot.
so like, is that a person?
Alright, so my mind goes to Star Wars with the cloning.
Yes.
Um, it's just the question is, are they people? Because like they're clones, but are they? Would they have like the free will to make choices that the original wouldn't? I guess.
I think they can make those choices, but if it's a clone, wouldn't it make the exact same kind of choices?
Right. So then there wouldn't be free will in that clone.
Unless, okay, psychology. So a big point of psychology, especially like deciding personalities and like issues like abnormal psychology, people diagnosing people, is you have to remember to look at it from many different angles. Because if you just simplify it down to one thing, you're going to miss a whole lot more. So right now we're basically looking at the genetics of the person, but we're not considering the environmental factors of what it's like to be raised as a clone. And if you're raised differently, if the original was raised just like a clone would be, then maybe, I guess. But like, I assume that person was raised as a person, and then the rest of them are raised as clones to be in an army. They're going to act differently than probably the original did.
Right. So then in that way,
they become an individual almost?
Yeah. So like, I guess you could say we are made up of our experiences, right? Mm-hmm. Like our experiences basically determine how we think and how we act. And so by having different experiences, they're becoming their own different person.
Yes. I think, obviously cloning and like copying a brain onto a robot is like a very like intense version of just like making a baby. The difference being that is a perfectly exact same like set of genes that is copied into something else, whereas with the baby it's two groups of genes that are just kind of like randomly assorted to make a brand new thing. So like all the components are still there, but because they're combined differently, it'll make someone new. And then even more than that, the environment is going to change them even more than even just that.
So I guess, so like a child is like the new person is created upon birth, but then like for a clone, becoming a new person would come from the experiences, I guess.
Yeah. So that's true. So basically,
they become different people at different stages, I guess, which is strange.
Yeah, that's another interesting point is to think about if you could transfer a consciousness into a robot, it would be the consciousness of that person at that moment.
Right.
And so it is the exact same person that at that moment, but as soon as they start doing different things than that person did, they're going to start creating their own identity immediately.
Man, this is some weird stuff. I'm all for this though. Like this is some interesting stuff. Like, and I love questions that make you think. Like there's no like,
there's no real answer here. Yeah,
I love questions like that.
That's like a lot of people's concept of like a multiverse, alternate universes, where it's just like a different version of you. It's still you, but you made like one or two different decisions, and now you're basically a completely different person.
Right. Like in one universe, you could be some successful businessman, and another you could be living on the streets, right? Like that's the whole idea of different universes. But it's like my thought right now is I feel like for us at least I feel like we think pretty similar, like in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
I would love, this is one of the questions I would love to have someone who like is just has completely different like values and beliefs than us, and like see what they would say. Like this is one of those questions I would be so fascinated to have like a conversation with someone of different
That's true.
ideals.
I wonder, because I mean, I take a lot of comfort in the idea that I will continue after death. You know, that I don't just disappear, but like my consciousness or my spirit or whatever you want to call it
Mm-hmm.
continues to do something, you know? And I wonder about people who don't believe in that at all. I can see, like, I've heard different rationales, obviously. Um, People who don't believe in life after death, they say, well, I mean, death what makes life beautiful, you know? If we all live forever, then it'd just be like whatever. But death makes life like you should live it because you're going to die, so you might as well like do something with what you have, which I
Right.
think is cool. I wonder about people who truly believe in like alternate universes and like an infinite expand. Well, I mean, like an infinite universe of just alternate universes and just like how they feel about that whole thing. Like that
Right.
they are one version of themselves that maybe that's where the comfort comes from, I guess, for them is just like I'm just one step and I'm going to exist again, or I already have existed and I will continue to exist in many different ways.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I have a question, but I don't know if like we have enough time to go into it. So I'll just, like maybe we can go into it a bit more later. But I just want to like
Mm-hmm.
ask it. Um, or so, a question I would want to like just talk about with someone who believes it just life just ends when you die, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I can't like I cannot comprehend not existing. Like I
Right.
cannot understand like just being gone. Like no consciousness. Like I feel like every human has that problem as well though, because like obviously we're here, we're conscious, we think, we exist, and just to think that will just disappear instantly, and then what happens after that, right? Like not existing, like that's a question that like I just can't.
Wrap your head around.
Yeah, like what would it be like not existing? Like obviously it wouldn't be like anything because you wouldn't be there, but like I can't comprehend what not existing would entail, I guess.
Right.
It's really hard to phrase, but
No, I think I feel, yeah. I mean, that's why like the one basic like I think one of the basic conflicts that I think every human has to overcome with themselves um, is the idea of death,
right.
and they have to figure that out for themselves because they have to like come to terms with that idea that maybe I won't exist anymore. And it's just like, would does the world care that I'm going to be gone? Does it matter if it cares? Like, you know, all those different things. And it's just you got to kind of wrap your head around it, and yeah, you got to find a way to, I, I guess, answer those questions for yourselves or for yourself. I like existential psychology.
It's always the most interesting aspect, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Are we almost out of time?
Yeah, just about.
Okay, well let me end with this. I wish fetching. I don't know where my book is. It's gone. I think my brother stole it. But this is a Brandon Sanderson book called Legion. Um, and this guy, fetch. Maybe I can find it. Infinite Batman. Okay. Uh, yeah. Oh yeah. So he's been kidnapped with this kid who barely has any reason for being there. Um, and he's trying to comfort this kid, but he doesn't really know how. But he knows the kid is like really into science, so he starts talking about the idea of infinite universe. Um, and they're both scared because like they've been kidnapped, so they don't know if they're gonna live or die or whatever. And so he tells this kid, he's explaining to this kid exactly what we just talked about, that like there's infinite, like there could be infinite universes and just like different versions of you in tons of different universes. And then he goes on to say that means in some universe you lived in a city and both your parents were killed in front of your eyes, and so you became a dark recluse and then eventually became a vigilante to go fight crime. And so then he says, and I found the quote here, well, when the fear of death seizes you, when the dark thoughts come, you stare the darkness right back, and you tell it, I will not listen to you, for I am infinite Batmans.
Infinite Batmans. That is amazing. Those are going to be my last words. I am infinite Batmans.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
That's what I got.
I'm gonna have to read that book now. That sounds amazing.
Oh, it's a great book. Yeah, highly recommend.
10 out of 10.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Leave us your existential and thoughts about death in the comments.
Tell Sean why he's wrong.
Always, please.
Not me though, because I'm really fragile.
And I agree with Zach that he's probably right. And by agreeing with him, I've created a paradox because you need to tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, no! I just
thank you all so much for joining us. I'm still Sean.
I'm still Zach.
And we'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Speaking, everybody loves to speaking, everybody loves to speak.
So what you're saying is it was your fault.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Ha!
I'm owning up to it. I'm the bigger man than you. I'm better than you.
It's true. It's true.
Let me put this guitar away.
How dare you?
There we go.
You were supposed to sing to the people at the end of last episode, and
I
you
sing
just
for
left
the
them
people
hanging.
all the freaking time.
Not with your guitar, Sean. We were ready.
I do mouth guitar.
We were ready. No,
Mouth guitar's
we wanted
way better.
real guitar.
Are you ready for this? It'll sound real.
All right, I'm ready.
Do 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 do.
Sean, I thought you said you're going to do mouth guitar, not a real guitar. What are you doing?
I know, right? It's I'm lying all over the place.
You always
I'm lying on the floor. I'm lying on the bed. I'm lying about our friendship.
Oh, same.
Oh. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page. I'm glad we feel the same way about it.
I feel like we've just bonded a little bit more.
Well, I'd say that, but I'd be lying.
He's seeing through my lies now. He's on to me.
Okay. Wow. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Man, you got to give me some kind of a heads up because I have no idea.
Sean, that whole conversation was too good not to record.
No, you're right.
What did you expect? Like, just because I'm a competent human being and record the quality content that the audience desires.
Uh-huh. Did you have anywhere to go with that?
Not just that I'm amazing and you suck.
Yeah.
You should expect my amazingness. That's about it.
Well, here's what I think of that. You ready?
I'm ready.